And this is a fairly short session. I have two main things I want to cover, which is the administration, covered in the administration of road safety auditing from accreditation and from legal liability. And this is, I'm going to predominantly focus on the Victorian, South Australian, Northern Territory, Queensland, and New South Wales specifics. However, I'm happy to talk to other jurisdictions. Certainly Tasmania, I will, because Tasmania just follows the Victorian process and uses the Victorian register. Western Australia is a bit different altogether around a whole lot of things. I can talk to the Western Australian approach to road safety auditor accreditation, administration, and the like, if there is interest. But this course actually isn't, there's only one course accepted, which is their own specific course in Western Australia. So, I don't think we have anybody from Western Australia for that reason. But this little final module is really going to be around understanding the different jurisdictional requirements for accreditation as a road safety auditor. Just pointing at the registration process. I'll do the other jurisdictions as well. I've added them in recently. And legal risks and liability for auditors or those procuring audits. So what do I mean by that? People buying audits, so road authorities or developers or the like. So let's start with that. Let's start with, okay, what are possible legal issues that will arise for both auditors and those procuring audits? And my little disclaimer at the bottom here says that I'm not a lawyer. I'm not giving you legal advice. Get your own legal advice. But what I will talk to you about is different legal cases I've been involved in, both as a government employee, managing road safety audits and the like, all the way through to being a consultant undertaking road safety audits and different things that we've had involvement in. So as a road safety auditor yourself, which you're going to sort of be an accredited road safety auditor fairly soon, if you get that audit in and you've done all your quizzes and you get your certificate, and then you take that certificate and you upload it to certain government websites, which I'm going to take you through after this, you will be an accredited road safety auditor. And then you'll get out there and start doing audits. And some of the things that could pose legal risk are anything associated with being what we call client-focused audits. So this is where we get that predicament of the fact that the person paying your team to do the audit is also the one that could possibly get some information back from that audit report that they don't like, that it costs them money, that disrupts their projects. So the fear is always around that audit findings not being presented or risk ratings being dampened down to make life easier for the client. So yeah, we haven't seen any very obvious evidence of this sort of stuff taking place. There's suspicion often, but I'm not aware of any cases where an auditor has been prosecuted under any of that sort of stuff, but it is always something to be aware of and be concerned with. As a road authority representative, if you work for a government road authority, be that a local government or a state government or a territory government road authority, you play a little bit of a role in this, in the sense that you are the end decision maker in all road safety audits. So even if a developer is the one that is told you got to do a road safety audit, they choose their own auditor, the audit report's done. It is the end asset manager who signs off the end of the audit to say, yeah, we accept that. And you're assessing, was that audit done properly? Are those reasonable findings? Have they been responded to reasonably? You make the call. So you can assist in any fear of that happening. So the auditors themselves are not writing the brief, they're receiving the brief. But if enough information is not handed over to do the audit report, and you just really can't do it with the information you've been provided, you've got to highlight that. Yeah, sometimes, like, we never really get everything we want as road safety auditors. You're always asking, oh, have you got swept path diagrams you usually get, have you got traffic models, have you got planning studies, and have you done the 3D model of that, these sort of things. Sometimes you don't have that information. You just note what you don't have. The misleading qualifications or experience, well, that goes across many professions, doesn't it? If you say you're a senior road safety auditor and you're not a senior road safety auditor, you're at legal risk there, obviously. Not following correct process. So if you're told to do a daytime and a nighttime inspection as part of the project and you don't, if you are told to visit the site and you don't, if you don't follow your own quality management processes and systems. Where we get interesting ones here is where the client maybe says, okay, here's the detailed, we would like a detailed design audit undertaken, and we don't want you to go to the site. Now, Austroads clearly says for a detailed design audit, you have to go to the site. Like that. Okay. The only ones they say you don't need to go to the site potentially is the early feasibility style audit. And even then they're saying, well, that would be pretty rare that you don't go to the site. So under those situations, the practical reality is you would say to your client, Austroad says that going to the site is an integral part of this. This is not going to be a Austroads compliant road safety audit if we do this and don't go to the site. I would then say to them, would you like me to call it a desktop review, not a road safety audit, desktop review of the design, or would you like us to go to the site? And if they still demand on, no, it's a road safety audit and you will not go to site, I probably just wouldn't do it, actually. But I was going to say, the only thing you could print in big letters on the front of the audit, at client's demand, no site visit was undertaken. Right? You've got to push that back to them, because that is basically saying, here's the correct process, which is go to site, and they're not getting you to do it. Then in terms of like finding issues, you're held to what they refer to as a reasonable assessment. And the legal fraternity love that word, reasonable. Like, and how does it play out? Well, they say things like, would your peers with the same information have identified that issue? Have others in previous audits of similar things identified these issues? Those sorts of arguments are brought forward. So that's the reasonable assessment, and it just has to play out in a court. Advantage you have is, as a road safety auditor, you're not going to start out there on your own. You're going to be there with a team. You're going to have a senior and experienced road safety auditor helping you continue to learn, and you will pick up more and more information. I'll take questions after I run through this one. So if you are the person commissioning a road safety audit, so you're a road authority, or you're a designer, or an engineer, project manager in a road authority, or you're a developer, or you're the traffic engineer for a developer and you're commissioning that work, or whatever it is, if you intentionally hold back information that could assist the auditor in undertaking their task of risk assessing and identifying issues, that could be an issue. If you are requesting recommendations, specific things, again, that sort of compromising that independence. I'm always okay though with a client saying to me, "Hey, we've got concerns about this, and this." I'm like, okay, that's fine. But where it goes over the line is when they say you have to put this finding in, and it's high risk. I'm like, well, no. I'll decide whether that goes in, and I'll decide what risk rating it is. It's otherwise it's not an independent. So I'm okay with them sort of highlighting areas of concern. Then receiving that audit report, and you've got to do something with it. You don't need to accept every finding. You don't need to accept every recommendation, but you either need to clearly say, yeah, we accept that, or we reject it, or we don't have enough money. God, we'd love to do that. Thanks for the idea. We just don't have enough money to do that. Well, you could defer it. You could say, well, we'll bid for that under future capital works programs or the like. That's okay. Like, the courts absolutely understand there's not infinite funds out there. What they don't accept, what they really, really hate, is ad hoc application of anything. Like, just randomly, oh, well, we did that, but yeah, we didn't do it over there, even though that one probably higher risk. Or even also with the audit process, yeah. Oh, we did a road safety audit on that job, but we didn't do it on that other job, which is almost identical. Why? Like, what's your process there? Means of prioritization, again, it feeds into these ones above here. Auditing helps you out there because you get those risk ratings. So there is some level of prioritization immediately there. If you're getting extreme risks or high risks, you know you've got to be doing something about them. And just being held again to that lovely word, reasonable process. And that's understanding the limitations that councils have, that governments have, that developers have, but what would peers do, what would be expected from other like organizations with the resources and funds that they have. Okay, was there a question that came in?
Yeah, Ken, I think the question's around site visit requirements, having to go to the site.
Yeah, sorry, I can clarify. Yeah, so when I had a road safety audit that was needed for this week, and the auditor did not go to site. He said it wasn't necessarily required. It only states, and when I went back to Ausroads, it only stated that it was good practice during detail design. Now, I wasn't too sure how to interpret that one because, again, I would have thought that you needed to go to site. Even if we're doing a detailed design audit, you need to see how that interacts with the existing conditions and what's going to get looked at and what's going to stay after we've done the actual construction works. But yeah, I wasn't too sure if I had any definite clauses there to point him towards to say, look, it is mandatory, even though it says good practice, like it is definitely mandatory.
Yeah, so the most recent update, I think, could have been a bit stronger on exactly that. I suppose there may be circumstances where site visits have been undertaken by that auditor in previous stages of the audit. So they have a really good feel for the existing conditions of the site, and then they're looking at the detailed design. That is sort of generally a possibility, but it would need a pretty good argument all around for a no site inspection to happen at that stage of auditing. So it raises a lot of flags in my mind. But yeah, to be able to point at Austroads and Austroads using that word must, they very much avoid that, to leave jurisdictions a little bit of wiggle room around some of these things. Yeah, but yeah, that's a bit, it's weird. It would be very weird to have a detailed design where they've not gone to site. Thank you. Okay, so accreditation. Oh, Wally's back. Okay, accreditation, road safety order accreditation. So different jurisdictions have slightly different requirements. Everybody generally rolls along the same requirements, and they have a couple of levels of auditors. So I'm going to go with, I've got Victoria, Queensland, South Australia here. New South Wales is slightly different, where you can see Victoria, Queensland, South Australia have road safety auditors and senior road safety auditors, whereas New South Wales does a level 1, 2, and 3 road safety auditor. They all then sort of ask for some sort of experience. Like they don't want people not in the industry being accredited as road safety auditors. Some of them require some minimum professional experience. And then all of them, to get up to a senior road safety auditor accreditation, require you to actually actively participate in road safety audits and do 5 of them. And 3 of them has to be at design stage. So you can't just do all existing conditions or all temporary traffic management. You've got to have that rounded one, because you become a senior road safety auditor for all audit types, not just for temporary traffic management or just in existing conditions. So they want to ensure that you are able to do those design audits as well. So you do that as part of an audit team, and you've got your name on that. And then there are some maintenance requirements, as in you've got to be doing 1 audit per year to maintain these different statuses. I put this sheet with what the other jurisdictions in it into the learning management system, so you'll be able to look in more detail. But let me run through that. Most jurisdictions, as I said, they have road safety auditor, they have senior road safety auditor. So to get that road safety auditor accreditation, you need to do an approved road safety audit course. So as mentioned, this one is approved by the Queensland government, Victorian government, New South Wales government, South Australian government. The Northern Territory says we'll take anyone's. If you're accredited anywhere, well, that's fine. Tasmania says we use the Victorian accreditation system. And there is a little bit of mutual recognition. So if you get onto one of those, they will tend to, and then you apply with that recognition, they tend to recognize you. So you do this course or equivalent, and you have to just have some experience in road safety engineering, road design, traffic management, or road user behavior. So that's just saying, yeah, you're in the industry. Now, having had a look at where you've all come from and what you do in this course, you're all meeting this entry requirement, at least in Victoria. Queensland requires you to have 5 years of this experience. So anybody for the Queensland environment who is new, a graduate or early in their career, who maybe hasn't been in the industry for 5 years and wants to be a road safety auditor, well, they're not going to put you onto the register of road safety auditors. So you will undertake your road safety audits utilizing the certificate, and you'll refer to yourself when you're signing off audits and those sort of things as trainee road safety auditor. Now, if you are in Queensland, you just get yourself on the Victorian register anyway, because it's not, you can be registered in Victoria. So you'll have some sort of something that you can talk about there. But yeah, for that audit you do in Queensland, you will refer to yourself as trainee road safety auditor. To graduate up to senior road safety auditor status, yes, you've got to have done the course. You've got to have 5 years experience. So that's where all the jurisdictions are saying you've got to have 5 years experience, and you've got to do 5 road safety audits under the guidance of a senior road safety auditor. So you've got to continue your learning with that auditor and be involved in the audit, and then you can take all of that and apply for elevation up to senior road safety auditor status. So in Victoria, the website is vrsa.com.au. Question, sorry, came in there. No, that's not 5 audits in 1 year. You can do that over as much time as you like to get yourself up to that senior status. And then once you're at senior status, you'll have to do at least 1 audit per year to stay up there. So in Victoria, vrsa.com.au, and you go to this website, and you'll see it starts off with a disclaimer that says, hey, there's a big list of road safety auditors in here. We can't guarantee any are any good. We just have checked that they've done an appropriate course and that they're in the industry and these sort of things. And so you agree and continue. And then it drops you into this page, and you've got lots of options on the side here of different things that you can look at. You can search, you can register as an auditor. So you'll go to register as an auditor there, and then you can register as an auditor in Victoria. If you're in another jurisdiction or you've done lots of road safety auditing, maybe you're doing this at a refresher course or something like that, you could register as senior auditor, but you'll register as road safety auditor. And then you put in your information. And you'll see over this side, well, if you don't want the public to see information, you just click that and it hides the information. So you fill out that. It's very obvious what you're going to do. Then you'll submit that and they'll ponder and look at it for a while. And eventually you'll get approved. You can log in, upload information, change information, and the like. So what anybody can see is when they go in there, they could also search for an auditor, and then they could search for the auditor by name, organization, by sort of required expertise, which take it with a grain of salt because it's self-populated, but that's a possibility. And then you see just a big list of road safety auditors. This is the Victorian Register. Well, this is from a while back, actually, but my snip, but you can go in there live if you want. You can see that there's somebody who's pending. Why would they be pending? Either they've just uploaded they've just applied for accreditation, or they've just uploaded some information that is yet to be reviewed. So if we go down here to me, click on me, and we'll see active, senior road safety auditor, my contact details. You've got to put in some of your professional history, but you can hide that from the public because they need to know that you're in the industry and 5 years experience. Auditor expertise. Okay, well, I've been auditing for about 25 years, so I've done a lot of these things, but I don't put worksite traffic management as expertise. I've done quite a number of worksite traffic management plan, road safety auditing, but I still don't. Maybe I could tick it, but I didn't anyway. Regions available to work. That's just regions of Victoria if you particularly only want to ever work in the east of Victoria or something like that. And then this is the sort of stuff you see the public sees. They see, okay, an audit was done, Phillip Island. I was the senior auditor team leader. It was back then. Client was Vic Roads. It was a feasibility stage audit for bikes. There you go, early feasibility stage audit. We still went outside, stood in a paddock looking at where their separated bike facility was going to go. But it was absolutely great to be out on site for that, because tying it in and crossing roads and things like that, we really nutting out how that's all going to play out. What they will see behind the scenes, the managers of the database, they won't actually get an upload of the audit. You don't take your audit and upload it, but you do put client contact details. So if they ever wanted to audit the auditors, maybe for this one, they would have a contact, they would call, they would ask the client about the audit and potentially seek the audit report. And a copy of a certificate from a approved course. So I often refer people to the Victorian one first because it's probably got the lowest bar of entry. It's the easiest to get onto. You will have to complete a little e-learning to get onto the Victorian one these days. So there is an extra hurdle to jump through. Having just completed this course, you will be very well set for that e-learning. It aligns with what we've been talking about, so you'll do really well there. vrsa.com.au. So DIT, the Department of Infrastructure and Transport in South Australia, or DIPTI, they have a somewhat similar process. However, theirs is simply a PDF that gets periodically updated as you email in a Word form. So you go to if you just pop in South Australian Road Safety Audit Register or anything like that into Google, you'll find it. It's under their pre-qualification for transport and building infrastructure. So you'll be able to find it there. Queensland has a list of road safety auditors, and then under that is a list of senior road safety auditors. Again, similar, you download a Word document, you fill it out, you email it in, and then they upload it. They're actually very efficient actually in this. So it's quite impressive. But again, you'll list that. There's no extra information. You can't click on an auditor and find anything more apart from you've got contact details there and you're on the register. Oh yeah, I've jumped back to the DIT. It is DIT now, so I've got the old DIPTI snip here. It's Department of Infrastructure and Transport now. I just wanted to point out the difference. They've got heavy vehicle route assessors, and they're different to road safety auditors. They also happen to have safe system assessors these days as well. But I suggest you go to vrsa.com.au first. Now, I'm just going to stop that and Kathy, check if we've got any questions. And I might just bring up the New South Wales one while we're at it and do that sort of live.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Ken. Just a question, is there any payment required from the VicGov to, or maybe that means to the Vic government? No, you don't have to pay to register as an auditor. You just need to have successfully completed this course and do the e-learning that will get you enrolled into. So if you're based in Victoria, you do need, and you want to register on the Victorian one, you do need to complete the e-learning as well. And we'll organise to get you enrolled into that, and you'll receive some further notifications.
Yeah. Just no payment just because we like you.
I'm paying for the course, but anyway, that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
With technicalities. No additional payment. For the RSA 5 audit requirement, do the audits need to be in the state you're registering for, or the state to consider every RSA you undertake?
No, any RSA anywhere under the guidance of some sort of senior road safety audit account. So yes, you can do 5 audits in Victoria and then go up and register in Queensland. Are you seeing the New South Wales register?
Certainly am.
Yep, just again, another website, a little bit like the Victorian one. It's roadsafetyregister.com.au. Search, register, FAQs, and then you either go in there as an auditor or a company, and you can search for auditors by name, by organization. I haven't done this for a long time. Let's see what happens here. Go beer.
Fingers crossed you're still on there, Ken.
Yeah. Oh.
Level 3. Look at you.
No, look at that. So what does it actually say? Yeah. There you go. You get a bit of detail.
So there are other states and territories often forgotten about. Sorry, Northern Territory, ACT, Tasmania, and so on. Those states and territories usually don't have their own register system. And so what we tend to suggest is that you register in your neighbouring state. So Northern Territory usually hops on Queensland, Tasmania usually hops on Victoria, and so on and so forth. Would that be right, Ken?
Yeah, that's right. As I said, Northern Territory really doesn't care. They just go any other register. Tasmania is a bit more focused in Victoria for the Victorian one because we share road design standards. They often just use the Vic Roads edition. So they just go use the Victorian one. But yeah, Northern Territory is just, they'll take anyone's register. South Australia's got their own. And New Zealand doesn't actually have a register, but they will. So they push it to an individual project manager to determine appropriate qualifications. How do they do that? Well, it can be a variety of ways. It could be from a CV, past history, a certificate from a course registered in another country, whatever it is, they make that call on the spot. Okay, I'll let everybody have a think if there's anything else, but I think we can show you how to finish off this course now. Do you want me to do that, Kathy, or would you like to?
Oh, I'm happy to.
Okay, get in there, and that these people know how to use the learning management system very well now.
Of course they do.
Yep, they do their quizzes. They've been uploading stuff, and they just need to know how to finish it off and get a certificate.
3 superstars have already submitted their assignment. So,
wow.
No, God, it's up to 5. My word. You've got 7 days and 4 hours left. So this is in module 4, which was the previous module. So the quiz on that one was just how many Wallies are there. So that was nice and easy. And you've got to complete your road safety audit site visit. So if you haven't already, you're looking for where your name is on the end there. That is your site. That is the design. So you've got to go to that site, have a look at the existing conditions that are there on site, and then you'll be auditing this design here. Just pick one with your name on the end of it. Your template document is there, which Ken would have kindly gone through last session, which is basically what you need to complete, and then PDF it and submit. Now, sorry, you're looking at my version. Now, if you're from Transport for New South Wales, your internet firewalls are just incredible. So what you need to do is you need to email it to us, because it just won't get through this system. So if you email training@safesystemsolutions.com.au, we'll upload it for you. And that goes for anyone else. If you're having any sort of trouble with uploading or anything like that, don't spend too much time on the IT gremlins, just email it through. So that's that. The other requirements in terms of completing the course is, of course, make sure that you have completed all of the quizzes, so that you have received a passing grade on each one of the quizzes. And the other assignment that, if you haven't already completed this one, was your research topic 1 back in module 1. And we're tracking for time. We're good? Okay. So once you have... after today's session, we've got a quiz as well, so jump in and do that. Once you have submitted your assignment, our team of markers will mark that within the next week or so after the submission close date. So you should hear within about 2 to 2.5 weeks' time on whether or not that's all good to go. You need to complete some course feedback, very quick multiple choice style questions, what you thought about the program, what was great, any suggestions for improvement, and so on. And then your road safety audit certificate will become available here. So you see you've got to jump through all of these hoops, and then you'll get your certificate. So you'll have an electronic version there. Now, the course is open for around about 6 months, so you'll be able to jump in. So jump in there and download your certificate. And if you need to refer back to any resources throughout that period of time, you can do so. And then, of course, you can share your achievement online. So pop it on your LinkedIn network, or tell your friends and family about how you're a newly accredited road safety auditor.
Yeah,
have I covered everything, Ken?
Yeah, just click on that share achievement, just so people see. We've got some little accreditation badges there that you can grab. That's not quite the right place it usually goes to. It usually goes to a web page where they've got a link to social media and
I just had to click one more time. Sorry about that.
Okay. I thought it automatically went to this spot. So you'd find the road safety audit course, and then you could just pick your social media. If you're on LinkedIn, click the LinkedIn, it'll sort of automatically populate it, and you can use the words down the bottom there with one click, or you can create your own words, or you could upload your certificate, whatever you want. But we do encourage this because we want you to be out there doing lots of audits and sharing that you have the ability to do that. You've done the course, you're passionate about road safety. So we tried to make that as easy as possible for you to do. We also want lots and lots of other people doing road safety audits and getting involved in the course and the like. So we're really trying to build an army of people out there auditing. So share that information with others. Pop it on your social media. I think you've done pretty well there, Kathy, but we will, as I do a wrap up, see if anybody pops anything into the chat, any final questions, but that's nicely shown us how to finish the course. And it's fairly intuitive when you're in there anyway. And of course, any problems, as you have always been doing, just email training@safesystemsolutions.com.au, and our wonderful team behind the scenes will get back to you and walk you through it. But I want to take the opportunity to thank everybody for their commitment to take time out of their busy schedules to undertake this course. For me, I've always had a real belief that we can engineer safe road environments, and it takes us changing the normal practice, and it takes people that are committed to actually understand some of those basic principles and to just get out there, roll the sleeves up and start applying it. So you've taken that real step of saying, I'm going to understand this, and now it's over to you to get into it and to really do lots of road safety audits. And if you're in organizations that don't do road safety audits, get them doing them. I mean, why are we going to spend billions or millions or hundreds of millions or billions of dollars on infrastructure if it's not the safest infrastructure we can possibly build? And anytime you identify risk out there on the road network, you have an extra little responsibility now, because you are a road safety auditor, or you will be very soon when you do some uploading of certificates. And we want an army of eyes looking at the road for high risk areas. Certainly, you won't be able to talk to your local councillor for every low and medium risk issue, because you'd just be constantly sending in information. There's a lot going on out there. But when you see those ones that sit in that high and extreme risk, in your opinion, it's really worth just letting your local government know, letting your state road authority know. And you can mention, hey, I've just completed the road safety audit course and I happen to see this issue, and I'm concerned by it. So yeah, please do that. Encourage road safety auditing, advertise the fact that you can be involved in this and do this. And reach out to myself or any of the Safe System Solutions team if you find challenging situations that you want some advice on, or you want sample road safety audits, or you want to join one of our audit teams to continue your experience. Whatever it is, we're here to try to help you. Follow us on LinkedIn, because we do continually put out information to try to keep industry up to speed on the latest stuff associated with infrastructure design, road safety, road management, and the like, to try to keep industry up to speed. So follow Safe System Solutions if you're on LinkedIn. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks to your team as well for behind the scenes organising it. Thanks, everyone, and have a wonderful weekend and finish off those road safety audits.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.